How is the new year? How is 2020 taking you? For us, we are fine. We are back at it again. I am Michy Naluo.
I'm Wangechi Nyaguthii, the foreigner mwenyewe.
I am Kariki, DJ Simba Marara representing. Yes, Switzerland, Kenya, Tuko.
We are going to talk about being a foreigner in Switzerland, specifically because we live in Switzerland and everybody has different experiences, and we would love to share these experiences with you. If you've been through something like this before, please feel free to comment below, get in touch, stay in touch. You're welcome. And don't forget to subscribe, of course.
What is being a foreigner means like I am living in a place away from my home, where I call home. Living in a place where I find a different community, different culture, can be the same, but picturing it's different culture, different community and everything. So these are all the things that you have to take with you, and it's not easy because it all brings all this culture clash, all these people that you meet. It's in a positive and negative, but you always have to be ready because it's a thing that I am living in somewhere, some people's else land, country, yeah. So being a foreigner, it's up to me to adapt. Like them say, when you go to Rome, do as Romans do. It's for me to adapt with the people and the culture and the community and the society around me. So how do the society around me take me? I will always be an outsider. That's clear for me. The thing is, I have to make myself feel comfortable because all these challenges, as I said, it is me who carried myself from my origin and brought myself here, or situation. I already make my step, so I have to be ready for whatever nitapatana nazo.
How I feel about
the foreigner
mwenyewe, how I feel as a foreigner in Switzerland. In the beginning, it was difficult because, as you know, you have left all your life behind, everything you've left it behind, so you're starting from zero. Time you get to get used of the situation, you make new friends, and you get to know that things will never change. You know, you are in this country that you are living is other people's race. They are different. They are not like our kind. So you cannot expect that you come to this country and everybody just accepts you. It doesn't go automatically. So for me, I learned that, and that made me more comfortable, because even at our own country, for example, in Kenya, we have some Asians who everybody is complaining, maybe, oh, these people came and took our jobs, or these people even to polish shoes, they have taken those jobs. You know, it's everywhere. So once you are a foreigner, you have to just adapt the situation and accept that you are going to go through some experiences, and with time you get used of it.
So as for me, I would say being a foreigner, when I was living in Kenya, it never really hit me what being a foreigner is, because growing up and going to school, I interacted with foreigners. So for me, being a foreigner was something that I believe it's normal. It's not a big deal until I found myself in the situation of being a foreigner. And the only thing that made it easier for me, of course, is because I met Wangechi, the foreigner mwenyewe, before I came to live in Switzerland. So I knew her. So coming into Switzerland, I already had people who I knew. So having that family and friendship surrounding you made integration for me more easier, I believe, until I started experiencing that you're now a foreigner. You know, when you're at home and when you're with your friends, you feel at home. You know it's cold outside, or it's summertime, or it's spring, or it's autumn. But the minute you step out of that comfort zone, the minute you find yourself in a bus full of Europeans, or if you're in China, I believe full of Chinese, then that's when it hits you. You are not at home anymore. You are now a foreigner, and you will be treated as such. So let's go to our second point, where we are going to talk about how foreigners treat each other, and at the same time we are going to cover how the people in Switzerland fear foreigners. We will give you examples.
In a country like where we are right now, there's a lot of foreigners from everywhere, And because you have come here, you have first to find the simple jobs, you know. You are looking for service jobs, you are looking for cleaning jobs, you know. These are the first jobs when you enter in a foreign country, you first do. And here is where most of the foreigners are. And you come to find out, for example, maybe you're working with people from South Americans or Eastern Europe. And most of these companies, they employ people of their own. So when you're there and you are an African, for example, or you're from another country, you're another type of foreigner, it becomes difficult when they build a wall that when they are talking or when they're on a break, they're speaking their own language. They cannot speak the language of that country. So you are left there, they are laughing, they are discussing, and all the time you'll be wondering, are they talking about you? You know, and it's difficult because I have come to realize that people from other countries, they are more, how do I say, should I say racist? They are more racist than the people from the main country. And that's my own experience.
Really, she has said the truth. Living in Switzerland, foreigners treat each other. I feel like sometimes in Switzerland, even the foreigners themselves, they are hard upon foreigners than the Swiss people themselves. And all these points about work, it's always also a big matter, because you find like you work in a company or a sector and you find like maybe the boss or somebody who is respected or not, somebody who has a position is from a certain country, and they give the position, they favor people from their tribe or from their country or relatives in such kind of things, and then you become second choice. So doesn't matter if you find a job and in another kind of way, sometimes it's upon you to see if you can make your space there, build your space and your comfort, because there will always be challenges. You'll have these people there against you so that you can quit the job and they can bring their own. Yes. So these difficulties that you go through about people, their culture, their language, their food, and yourself, you know, because you have to also come in and join. So how do they accept you? If they don't accept you, how are you ready to move on with this situation? So with foreigners, sometimes you really have to come and get to know them and get to be open and also be wise, because it can really be a depressive situation where I have seen many people, because of being a foreigner with other foreigners, and they have problems, and they start to this, yeah, you think you're better than me, you're also a foreigner in this country, I'm a foreigner like you can treat me, you know, like all these kind of discussions saying that you're not Swiss. And then you find like the Swiss person, if they come to accept you, because there is also fear among Swiss people, as we have like Swiss people have fear on foreigners, because that fear of losing, that fear of somebody will treat me not right, that fear of I don't know that person, or before you get connected to the people so that they can open up and be to know you, it takes time. But once I have realized some people, if it's for example Swiss people, once you get to know them and they get to accept you, they are like unbelievable. They are good friends, they are good human beings. You can chit chat, you can mingle everything. And that is the thing. People have to find you, open up with you, just as you yourself, you have to find them people and open up to the people. Now the karate iko hapa, will it work out or not? So it's a challenge, but I say you have to be strong with everything you go through.
So my point of view is like they both said, when you are new here, you end up doing odd jobs. And those odd jobs, you will meet people who are from different countries, and depending on where you land, if the people are from Dominican Republic, if they're from Brazil, if they're from India, if they're from Kosovo, it depends where they're from. You go in there knowing that you might be the only African. And if there's an African there who has been working longer than you, don't even dream of being friends with her. She will not, or he will not be your friend. In fact, those ones are the ones who sabotage. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So every time you come to work in the morning, you are always being called in the boss's office. Yesterday, this and this was not done. Knowing very well, maybe you are not even in the on that floor they're talking about, or in that department, because somebody decided to place you as the victim. So when you're going there, like Kariki said, open your eyes, open your ears, keep your head. If you really need that job, do your job and go home. Because that foreigner laughing with you there is not your best friend. She's just plotting for your downfall, so that his sister, his brother, the cousin, the mother, the sister, it doesn't matter, so that somebody can come there and work in your place. And about the Swiss themselves, well, it's not like we are sitting here, we are all from Africa, and we are going to tell you stories and say the Swiss are the best. No. The Swiss people, I believe, are direct. If they don't like you, they won't keep it a secret. If they like you a little bit, they might hide behind a smile. But if you show them that, you know what, I am here to work, I am here to make my way, make my living, find my way. If you show them that really, I am not a bad person, you can trust me if you want, but I really don't need your trust, but you can trust me if you want, then everything is going to be fine. A Swiss person or a person who has studied here or gone to school here or has lived here, also let's not generalize it, yeah? It depends on the character of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if you're doing your things straight, you will have no problem with the Swiss. If you're doing your things straight, you will have a problem with your fellow foreigner. That's my opinion on it.
Mm-hmm. You have something to add, Kariki?
Yes, to adding to what he says, like integration is a very important factor.
Yes.
Because the way you get yourself integrated, even to the society, to the government, the offices of the republic, it makes your things to see this person is interested to learn to learn, because you are here, you have to know how Romans live, to learn their culture, to learn their languages and everything. And on the other side of people trying to fight you away so that you can lose your hopes and demotivation, so that you can go out and then they pick up their own brothers and sisters, which is a very, very, very terrible thing. And I will say, my sisters, it's a very hard fight.
In a foreign country, you have to integrate. As Kariki said, you have to also try to speak their language. People are living in this foreign country for more than 40 years and they cannot speak their language, and they're talking, Swiss people this, first integrate in this country. It's very, very important. Yeah.
I only have just something you have mentioned. When whatever you are mentioning, something just popped into my mind. Those foreigners who have citizenship, please, this goes out to you. For those who don't have citizenship, don't treat them like less of a human being. Don't forget you were once in their situation. And we are going to link Wangechi, the foreigner mwenye's video down there, where she talks about being a foreigner, you will always be a foreigner. You should just go there and listen to it, because I don't want to go deep into that topic, because
doesn't matter if you have the red book or not.
Yeah.
Foreigner is always foreigner. Yes. And love yourself and be proud of your country. That's I would say doesn't matter where you come from. Love your country, but live with the people wherever you are.
Yes, and if you have an accent, it's okay. Don't be ashamed of your accent. Don't force in accents that you don't have. Just you're here for people to understand you. You don't have to talk like Michy or Kariki. No.
And just because you speak Swiss German and I cannot articulate myself in Swiss German, it doesn't make me less of a person.
Yes.
Exactly.
True. So, point number
3, let's talk about discrimination. Discrimination at school. Wangechi or Kariki, one of you tell us, do you feel discriminated at school, where your kids go to school, as being a foreigner?
Well, I will say it also depends, like in many schools, which kind of school. Because you have here in Switzerland, for example, I live in Zurich, and in Zurich you have a crisis, like I would say estates or divisions, and there are some places where you find they are too much inhabited with foreigners. There are some places which are too much inhabited with Swiss people and things like that. And okay, to my talk where I've been in school where there are too many integration with foreigners. Yes, there's a difficulties of foreigners, although it is not so, I would say it is not so concrete, because kids are kids, and kids sometimes when they are kids they don't take themselves because they are black or white. But all the things that I see that kids do, they learn it from their parents, from their homes.
That's it.
And that's where they come into it. If the parents at home, they are doing this kind of, they are black people, they are Yugoslavia people, they are these people, there will be, it will come automatically with the kid. The kid will come anyhow in a grudge. You will find them talking about racism things. Because I have this problem also with that kid in school where I do work, and they have like a fight with, and then it just started as a fight and it's erupted. Yeah, it came to all this discrimination point, and that's where you realize the kid, because they were kids of the same country. The kid came from Portugal and the other kid came from another country, and because the other kids of Portuguese country, and they say, hey, you should not do that. So I saw it is not it's not being because of being from this country. It's about this kid himself who is bringing these discrimination things because they learned it from home. What kids learn is very important. And I find it's a thing about how you teach your kids. And also my kids, I try to take, for example, my daughter, she's mixed. And she has this thing, like when she goes home, she goes to school, she has the curly hair, and she wants to have the straight hair like the Swiss kids, they say. So it was a thing about me, I have to teach my kid, love yourself for who you are. Doesn't matter you have curly hair. The other kids you are talking about, you want the straight hairs like the other kids. The other kids want curly hair like you. Yeah. So this understanding is about the parents, how they teach their kids. Although discrimination in school will be there in this kind of parental guidance.
But then what about when your child does something in school and the teacher calls you? Do you feel like this teacher is dealing with you as a foreigner, or is this teacher dealing with you as a father?
Well, yes, I find the teacher still with me as a father. Okay. I never felt this discrimination in school with teachers and everything, and I find the teachers in Switzerland are very integrated. Although I will say I live in Zurich, it's a very integrated society, community. Yeah. The further you go in small communities, villages, and the people there, they are a little bit, slow, conservative. That's why you can find this kind of situation happen. Okay. But it's not something that you cannot point out. Yes, there are people who have felt it and have seen it. But I am lucky to have good teachers with my kids, and they don't have this kind of problems about being them. Sometimes they also appreciate them. You're nice hair. You're like this kind of different colors. You have one is chocolate, the other one is black, Chinese, Indian. I find teachers sometimes they always have a good compliment. Although you never know, maybe they're just like plastic smiling, but yes.
Yeah, that one you can never know. So, as Kariki just said everything that I was to say, so I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm going to say, you asked if there's something that has ever happened to school and you thought it's discriminative. So yeah, I can say, for example, if there's two kids who are fighting and your kid is involved, and the teacher just calls you and not the other kid, then for me, I find that is discriminative. When your kid says, hey, I did not start it, the other kid started it, and when you tell the teacher, why is the other parent not here? And it becomes like a discussion. It's not about the other parent, it's about your kid. That one I find it's discriminating. If our children are going to fight, it doesn't matter from Dominicana, it doesn't matter from a Swiss, it doesn't matter what, call all parents. Yes. Don't just call this one particular parent. You have to make sure that all parents are there.
And black people are, unfortunately, in the whole world, especially in the USA, we've never been there, but we see it on TV, as aggressive.
Yeah, I can say that we are lucky that we are living in a city where there's a lot of integration. And when you go to like one class, you cannot miss 3-4 black kids, mixed kids, and you see the difference with these kids. They want to know. How do you say, not nosy? You see, they come, they touch the hair, as Kariki said. My son has dreadlocks like him, and he was my son used to ask me, can I also go and touch a white child and start touching the hair and asking, because we don't do that as African. No. You never see an African man or an African lady go touching the other woman. Well, is that your hair? We don't do that. This is a white man thing. They always come in to touch our hair. and you cannot tell a child, don't do that, you know?
So are you saying that is discrimination?
About touching hair?
Yes.
I think this is something that they should... We are in their country and they want to know many things. I don't know. For me as a grown-up, I don't like being touched to my hair.
So you would prefer if they asked?
They asked.
Okay.
Because they just come and just start touching. Is that your hair?
Well, as you're talking about that part of hair, I would like to add a point. And I feel like it's something like, you know, like, I have some people who have come touch my hair, and you know, like, we have worked with them till they came to that point of touching my hair. It's something like they have been having questions. Are these hairs really and everything? Even kids, sometimes they ask me, they think like I play them every morning, and I think I can open them. But these are something about they are very nervous. They are in that state of, what is this? They want to know. And I did not found it, for me, my experience, I did not found it a racist or discriminative or anything. I just found it was a little bit of something like being like naive to know what is that. And you come, they touch your hair, and they touch your hair just like they you know, like that kind of feeling, like, and then later on they like that kind of feeling, and they're like, yeah, is it, you know, like, and they realize how at that point is there where they come to realize we have more curly hair, how my hair is and everything. But I found it was just an acceptance and everything, although it's not something which I would love everybody to become your hair. No.
As well, personally, I just find it strange.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's a strange behavior. Okay, let's talk about discrimination at a place of work. Okay, I didn't contribute to the school part. Well, I can contribute maybe as a student. As a student, at times I used to feel discriminated, or maybe you too.
Yes.
I used to feel discriminated because of my ability to speak the language. Because I always felt like I had fear. Okay, I think this is me personally. I had fear of making a mistake when I would answer a question. Secondly, if I didn't perform very well in the exam, maybe I could have gotten better points. The teacher would always come and try to tell me it is because of my language skills. And maybe she doesn't even know. Maybe I didn't read for that test. It has nothing maybe to do with the language skill. I just didn't prepare for the test. But I always felt like she was just discriminative because I'm a foreigner, number one. Number two, because she doesn't really believe in my language skills. But then also, don't forget, their teachers, they see what you write, and okay, maybe it's just me, I don't know.
Maybe. But sometimes thinking maybe there's some percentage that there's a truth behind it, you know. Always follow what your stomach tells you.
Okay, then let's talk about discrimination at workplace. I personally quit a job because of discrimination. I couldn't take it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, when it comes to that, I'm very hard with them, you know. I really had a problem with them, and I told them, people, you know what, I do my work. Doesn't matter whatever you come from, wherever you speak and everything. For me, it doesn't concern me, nothing. Najua nimekuja hapa kufanya job yangu, and if you think you're better than me, show me you're better than me. And you have a problem with me, come talk to me. And I stepped into my boss office, and I tell him, I have a problem with this guy. This guy is telling me blah 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 blah. Call the guy and let him talk in front of you and tell him what him say, if it's right. And the guy came, and all that he was saying was just some hard feelings about me. Because I am flexible, I go to work, I go in a positive way, one love, do my work in a cleanliness, doesn't matter what it is, you know. I want to finish it in a joyful way and in a happy way. So that is my life, you know. And if somebody interferes, seeing you are happy doing what you are doing, and they're like jealous to find you out because they want to get you out, because you know, the thing, when you do better, maybe you have a timetable. Today you are responsible for this work. You do this work, you do better. The next day, the other person is responsible for the work you did last time, and they don't do like you. So you find, like, for example, they will realize this one did it better, the other one did it like this. So in that kind of competition, as they thinking, they try to push you out because they don't want they don't want to sweat. You know, they just want to be touching. Yeah. They are very good when they are talking with the boss. Very nice, very polite, humble, down to earth. But when they come to do their work, they are just like sweeping, just doing things so that they can cover it up, and they cover it up with being nice to the people, so that the boss doesn't control them. Yes. So this kind of dealing with things, I'm wise enough not to give them any space in my mind, because they are going to make me feel uncomfortable, and once I feel uncomfortable, I will not work in peace. And if I don't work in peace, I will not have my mind and my body full there, and it's better I quit the job. And it has been true. I have quitted some jobs because of people dealing like kind of this, and I quit it. I've worked there for years, and I see it's not getting better. I'm just like working my ass to death. So I say, like, damn it, let me go find another greener pasture. And it goes on the same thing. You find the same job, you'll find the same kind of people, same character, and you try to better it. So it's about all these people. Are they going to give you your space or not? Because discrimination at work is a very, very bad thing. You like to go to work in a peaceful way, in a nice and joyful moment. And if you don't have that joy in work, this discrimination makes you feel like, what the fuck is it being black on you? Like, that's why I also right now, people become being, if you know, like, even some things were not in your head, you start putting them in your head. You just think, because I am black, because I am a man, because I am this. So they make you feel bad to where you are not supposed to. And it is not a good thing at all, as I say.
So you are, in short, in summary, you are saying this discrimination at workplace, it can deal to a psychological pressure.
Exactly. It makes psychological pressure and depression, and in such kind of way you find like people want to work in the places where their community is working. Because you find like right now I will look for work where my people are working, where black people are more than white people, or like South Americans, than Eastern European or Turkish or the Asian. It makes you feel like this, and once you find these people, you'll want to work there all your years. And this is also another negative thing, because once you get to work in one place all the years, one time the work will get finished, and you have been working one place, so you don't have no experience. So before you get another work, it's just making life difficult.
So for me, discrimination at work, that is, I think 95% of foreigners have gone through this. It's something that is happening. Some of them, they try to hide it, but you get to know it is happening. So I can say, there's a time I was working, and there was this, when you go to work, the first time when you enter this type of work, they'll be discussing, you're from where? You say you're from Kenya. Oh, there was somebody here from Zimbabwe. Do you know the person? And you're like, I'm from Kenya. And this person from where do we know? And this person was like this, and they're trying to vergleichen. They're trying to compare you and these other Africans who are there, and they're saying, and they always put Africa as one thing, you know. If one person did bad, they will always put you there. But you know, in Africa there's always war, people are hungry, and you're like, I'm from Kenya, I don't know about other African countries.
She's saying right, because that's a big problem. I just say I will say many foreigners who come from some other countries like Eastern Europe, they even don't know how they think Africa is one country. They don't know Africa is a continent. There's east, west, north, and south.
That's good. Sorry to interrupt you. And when they ask, for example, let's use the example she used. There used to be an African from Zimbabwe, but you know, she got fired after 2 weeks. So what are you telling me, that because I'm from Kenya, I will get fired after 2 weeks? What are you exactly trying to communicate? Right.